Welcome to Color Me Psychic. So glad that you called in today. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Texas.
Awesome. Welcome, Texas. So, what question do you find yourself asking over and over again that you want to explore today?
Yeah, I think I got the opportunity to start this new job very soon. So I just have a lot of feelings about it, a lot of emotions.
Yeah,
I'm at the same time trying to figure it out, how to, manage those emotions and obviously the unexpected of it and the challenge of starting something new. That's what keeps me on my toes. So I thought this was a good idea.
awesome. Awesome. We are going to have so much fun. So, when
Yay.
you think about the starting the new job and having these big feelings around the job, and it sounds like it was like pretty sudden that you got like this job opportunity and it's jumping into something new. When you think about that, I want you to do a body scan and see where in your body makes the most noise.
I think on the base of my throat, like this area here.
Yeah, that's good awareness. How does the base of your throat feel?
It feels like I want to cough, but like tingling, but um I'm not sick. It's just it's like tingling and like rumbly just in this area.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really good awareness. So, would you say that that sensation, does it feel heavy, like down, upset, or off, or light, like expansive, or airy, or promising?
Um I think it's more of the first option. I feel
Okay.
like it's like it's almost like an like there's like a nerve or something there that's like tingling basically. So it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, but not like that heavy. But it's
Okay.
also like maybe a little bit of exciting with it, like, oh
Yeah.
wait, this is actually maybe something good. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
that's awesome.
exciting. So I guess
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know.
put both down.
Okay.
Chances are when you feel kind of like this nervousness, but also excitement, you'll probably have different shapes and colors in your coloring that are
Okay.
both heavy and light. But yeah, we'll see what comes up.
Okay.
Yay. So I want you to take that kind of sensation in your throat that you found and color it out onto a piece of paper using any shape and color you want. There's no wrong or right way to color, and just keep coloring until it feels complete. Okay, this is what you colored. Talk me through what the first thing you colored was, or what you colored in general.
I don't know. I guess my way of thinking was like, oh, I need to have like a contrast between colors and shapes. There needs to be some like harsh stuff and
Mhm.
a contrast with like softening with either colors and smoothing with like the lanes or whatever. So I first started with like the central part. There's like all the wiggling, which I think
Mhm.
is like a little too obvious, you know? But I was like, ah, this is how like it feels like, or like, when the cartoon characters are like talking or like being expressive and then just put like some exclamation points and stuff. So I wanted something like that, but I didn't want a super like I don't know if this is where we should go to, but like for me, I was like I wanted the contrast of different colors, but I didn't want it to be like too harsh with each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so I started with like that like really weird area, and then later I went out and started doing like some circles, which is kind of like derived from the same stuff, but like maybe a little softer, if you will. It's not as harsh. And then the lighter colors come in and they kind of go inside of each kind of like empty area, if you will, that the harsh stuff left. But
Mhm.
also at the same time, and within the harsh stuff, there's like softness. Like the blue part is still like soft and it's not as harsh, and it has like some um continuity, if you will, and like that circle. And then that's when I went with like that pink because I was like, well, this is like softer, and I want to like fill up like with this softness, and also a little bit of like, I think it was like a green or yellow, whatever. I was like, okay, some luminosity here too. Soft, luminous, I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good awareness. Would you describe, I know you described like the center as like squiggles or like just a kind of a line that felt like anxious and more like the heavy stuff.
Mhm.
Um, let's go ahead and look at what that is. So is it purple and blue or is it mostly blue?
It's blue. It's like,
Blue?
yeah, it's like two
Okay.
different blues. It's like a navy and like, I don't know the other one. Or like, yeah, or it says cobalt. So it's like a
Okay.
blue purple.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So squiggles have to do with like the path that you're taking to fulfill your life's mission or just like your life's mission in general.
Mhm.
And blue, the two blues that you used, it's coming up as restraint, so holding yourself back, and then also depression, so or
Mhm.
depressed. So it's
Mhm.
like a dulled feelings or like lack of interest.
Mhm.
So there's something about like you wanting to hold yourself back from like from achieving like your life's
Mhm.
mission and your purpose. And there that could explain some of like the tension there that you're feeling.
Yeah.
The circles have to do with how complete or certain something feels. For this, it's feeling like very certain. So it's like a sense of certainty. For the purple, it's coming up as hopeful. So you're like this new experience, this new chapter that you're about to enter into, it's feeling really certain, and there is like this optimism, and you're feeling like there's a sense of possibilities and that things are opening up for you. But there's also kind of like this question of like, is this going to help me like get me to closer towards fulfilling my life's goals, to fulfilling like my mission, to doing what I want to do in this life?
Mhm. Mhm.
How's this all resonating so far?
Yeah, I guess everything kind of like makes sense. Yeah, like I thought it was interesting, like the holding yourself back and depression. It's kind of like I do feel like there's a little bit of that because it's like, well, why trying? Like I'm comfortable, you know? So it's like,
Yeah.
why even going there? So,
Yeah, that's really good awareness. The little circles that you have on the outside, those are like uncertainty. So like the big circle is like the certainty, but
mhm.
then there's like these specks of kind of like
Mhm.
feeling uncertain, specks of kind of like doubt. Uh,
Mhm.
these have to do with like the lacking energy or interest in
Mhm.
things too. So just exactly what you just said of why do I go there? Like I
Mhm.
like the life that I have and I'm
Mhm.
feeling great about it, but also there's something calling you towards doing something else.
Mhm.
The yellow green has to do with compassionate love. So this is like your concern for others' well-being and your desire to like care and to help without like any sort of personal gain. So it's just kind of reflecting back to you like you have a really good heart and your intentions are in the right place,
Yes,
especially as you're
same.
going into this new opportunity too.
Does that, so is this reflecting of this specific problem, or like the green yellow thing will maybe has to do with something else going on, or like it can it be both? Can it be one thing?
So typically when we what I've seen with all the people that I've worked with is they'll have like a question in their mind that's kind of there from something that's like an immediate experience
Mm-hmm.
that they have, but
Mm-hmm.
really it's just like that experience is a trigger for them to look at their entire life or
Mm-hmm.
like to look at all of the experiences that they're having, because a lot of times what will happen if we aren't if we aren't kind of in tune with the emotions of like the general experiences that we're having, or all the experiences that we're having, and both like the heavy and the light emotions, sometimes our minds and our bodies will create experiences to kind of wake us up to like getting the messages. So yes, that was a very long way to say yes, it applies to everything.
No, no, thanks for the explanation because now it's like, oh, okay, makes sense, you know? Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions before we go on to the pink?
No, keep going, please.
Okay. So pink has, in this case, has to do with like confidence. So this is really just like trusting in your abilities, trusting in your capabilities, to, and this doesn't just have to do with the job either. This is more of just trusting yourself to kind of navigate through new experiences and new chapters, where you have like this kind of settled, grounded confidence. Um, which it's funny too, because if you tie it back to like the center of it being like, I want to kind of hold myself back, or I'm not sure if I'll be able to like hold myself in these new experiences. Like the pink and the yellow green, it's basically like, girl, you got yourself. Like you really don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry. Like you have good discernment. Your heart's in the right place, and you're just like aware.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's kind of like a safety net for the other stuff, kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the, okay.
yeah. That's a really cool image. Yeah.
Trying to convince myself. Just kidding.
It's like an inner knowing. What's so fascinating about this too, and a lot of new experiences will bring this up for us, is that we, especially when we've had specific experiences or just like years of data of this is how things work, and this is like comfortable, and this is like uh I know what to expect, and I know how to like what there's not going to be any surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes our brains will go into this kind of mode where it's like, oh, this is like really scary because I don't have
Mm-hmm.
the data to show me that, like, hey, I can be safe and I can use the skills that I have, and I can protect myself, and I know what signals are to look for to be like, hey, this isn't for me, or this, I need to find a new way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's don't let your brain trick you to doing
Yeah.
something that,
Yeah.
don't dull yourself, I guess. What were you gonna say though?
No, I think sometimes there's like a part of our brain that doesn't like, not that doesn't like, but I guess at the end of the day is like you explain it, that sometimes it wants to like sabotage, or we want to sabotage
Yeah,
ourselves, right? It's kind of like
yeah.
a tendency. Will you say that it's like a human tendency, or is like more the emotional part that we haven't been able to manage that comes in because the brain is rational, right? And the brain knows all the technicalities of like, no, it says in here that you did this before and you can do it again, or you did something similar, but then our emotions come and like, that's not true, you know?
Yeah, so our brains basically create emotions.
Oh, okay.
So it uses is exactly what you did of like, here's all my past experiences, here's everything I've learned about how I should be feeling. This is could be from like your family, the communities that you grew up in, it could be from like the media you consumed, but it essentially is just, well, to take a step back, like our brain's main job is just to keep us alive.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to keep us alive, it's managing like all of our body systems. So, like, is your heart beating? Are you getting enough oxygen? Like, how are your hormones? How is your blood flow? How is your blood glucose? Like all of that stuff. So it's managing a ton. And so it, in order to be like super efficient and to conserve energy so that we can like be awake and alive and enjoy life, it basically uses all of our past experiences, everything that we know about maybe the experiences we're about to go into, to just make predictions. And sometimes those predictions are correct. Like sometimes it's like right on the money, cool, we can move on. And sometimes those predictions like are wrong, but
Okay.
it's just our brain basically saying like, we don't have enough data to know if this is safe or not. And it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be metabolically taxing to go through a new experience. So it's really like weighing up, like, do I have
The
enough
risk.
like mental, yeah, do I have enough mental energy? Do I have enough physical energy? Do I have like
Mhm.
enough spiritual energy to like go through this? Or is it going to kind of like, can I compensate and do I have room to for these new experiences? And so sometimes it's like, no, I actually don't. But I don't want to. But a
Mhm.
lot of times it's just like, hey, we do, and we can teach our brains that like, oh, we can handle more than what we think we can. Doing something new, we'll be able to see like we can carry ourselves through this. Like
Mhm.
a lot of times too, it's like we just have to remind our brain that we understand like our body signals and we're listening to our body signals. So we understand, or we can clock when we're feeling a little bit dysregulated, or maybe we need more rest, or maybe we need to change our diet, or maybe we need to exercise a little bit more, or maybe we need to just like spend time with like our loved ones more.
Mhm.
But the more that we kind of listen to our bodies and just show that like, hey, I'm listening and I'm willing to like go through the actions to help us stay regulated and to help
Mhm.
our brains support our brains to not be so depleted. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, a great help to the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, or kind of like where's your head at after figuring out what this coloring is and what it's bringing up for you?
Yeah, I think it gave me a little bit more clarity, even though there's like something that, like you were saying just now, like there's something that you're already feeling, but I guess it's like this is a good way of like put it into words or put it into colors and then into words.
Yeah.
Because literally at the beginning of the session, I don't know if I was also nervous because I'm like, well, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a good job. Also here, I was literally feeling it on my throat. And
No
then
way.
right now, I'm just feeling like, okay, everyone told you right now, this is fine and this is what it means. And I think regardless of if this was just showing like all the emotions were like negative, if you will, it's good to recognize them. So for me, it's like, you know what, this is correct because it just translates of what I'm thinking and it gives me more control of like feeding, you know, the good stuff that, that I can do or why not? So,
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
for sure. It's cool. I love when colorings, they really just tell a story. And I think like 9 times out of 10, just one coloring. There are some times where I'll color multiple pages with people because
Mhm.
sometimes it's like the heavy emotions are just like so much. It's like we can't get to the place to where we can get something like what your coloring did of like this is what's happening and here's some clarity. And then like you were saying, here's some next steps, or here's some things to just like keep in mind for the future. Uh
Mhm.
it's just a fun place to be in when someone like you comes in and like has the awareness, but it also like shows the entire story in one page.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes we do have a little more awareness because we're just feeling it so much? Or that doesn't mean that even if you're feeling something too much, you actually know what's going on. Like you have to train yourself to recognize those things, I guess.
Yeah, I think for your case, this is more of like you have learned so much. Like this is kind of like a culmination of everything that you have that's been on your mind and that you've been thinking for a really long
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Some people they'll kind of do what you're doing of like trying to process things, make sense of things, like use their discernment, figure out how they're doing, what they can do to be better, and how they can kind of feed themselves and stay in a balanced state. And then once something happens, it's more of like, oh, that feels a little funny. Let me explore it. But some people, myself was like this too. It's like you suppress so much and you don't look at stuff as it comes up to where like there's a new experience and then it like it feels more like an earthquake of like, oh, now I have to see not only this, but I have this and this and this and
Mhm.
this to kind of look at and make sense of. And you can do it. It's just like a little more intensive.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just based on what you colored, you can tell that you've done a lot of processing and a lot of thinking, a lot of like internal, like being able to resolve a lot of things internally before today, which is awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Any other questions before we wrap up?
No, I guess I don't know if this is like the following step, like what would it be? I guess the conclusion will be your advice, or what is
Yeah,
next?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's really up to you.
Okay.
So I think it's like you figure like you have all the information now from the
Yeah.
coloring, and now and we can talk about it now, but like based on what you learned from your coloring, like what are some next steps or what are some things that it feels like you could do to help your body and brain know that like, hey, I'm listening and message received.
Yeah, I think whenever I start feeling uneasy, maybe I need to just remind myself of like this uh, part that we discussed, like what are the options uh, to make this like a positive experience, even though there's yes a little bit of uncertainty. Uh, what like just ask myself like, well, kind of like the cons and just do a list of things that I can keep doing to like prep myself and marinate into the thought of like, no, this is part of the process, you know. I don't know, like you were explaining, giving my brain a little bit of like help to like settle things down a little bit, I guess. Or like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
What
know.
are your favorite ways to like, because usually when our brain is like that, we call it like dysregulated, but it's
Mm-hmm.
basically just saying like kind of uneasy and needs something in order to feel a little bit of balance.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something physical, like maybe going for a walk. It could
Mm-hmm.
be like doing something you love. So whether that's something creative or um, like from art to cooking to doing yoga or going on a bike ride. I mean, I tend to lean towards like the physical movement just because that's what I need a lot of physical movement for me to feel regulated. But what what's something like that you can do that kind of fill your cup and kind of give you some life energy?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's basically that. Like I can go for a walk, I can, I'm trying to like go to the gym more often, right? Or like um even like the same stuff that you were saying, like the cooking or why not, like okay, well getting excited about like trying a new recipe because I've been trying to do that too. Or like making about like an exciting plan because now I have to plan my new office, like, okay, where, like making it about like, oh,
Yeah.
this is something exciting that is going to happen, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like people when like they plan their like Disney trips with their kids. This is something exciting. It's gonna be very stressful for the parents, but they're trying to make it into a fun experience for them, right? Like,
Yeah.
so maybe just focus on like the things that I can control, which is,
Yeah.
like, okay, if I'm feeling uneasy or I feel like I have a lot of like stuff going on, okay, go for a walk or call one of my friends because I've been talking with like this friend
Yeah.
and uh my husband or like, bouncing ideas or like, oh, because that's sometimes that's what you need. You sometimes like you just like
Yeah.
saying the stuff that is already in your brain and then the person will listen and will tell you like, whoa, what do you think? Because at the end of the day it's your decision, right? This is what I
Yeah.
think, but so everyone has been very supportive about this decision for me, so maybe relying on that support and just then again the things that I can control, like make my home office comfortable and cozy place so I feel
Yeah.
safe. you know
Yeah. I
I
love
don't know.
that.
I don't know.
No, that's amazing. Like even like you said, just putting your energy towards making it a fun environment and experience too.
Mhm.
Yeah, the more data that you can give your brain of even in the uncertainty, I can still have fun and play with
Mhm.
it, the better.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love all those ideas. And even the connecting with other people too. I think that's so great to be able to have like a support system and a community that, yeah. can listen and help you like verbally process things, and then just help you kind of like calm down too, or not necessarily calm down, but just help you make sense of the unsettledness.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining today. I use the color mending therapy step-by-step guide to interpret your coloring. So anyone who is watching, you can scan this QR code to download your copy of the guide. And if you're interested on being on Color Me Psychic, you can scan this QR code to schedule your reading. But we'll see you all next time.